Testing, testing. Man. Woo! Lamont Byrne, Mitchell Commodore. And welcome to round 24 action of the Senol NPL Victoria Women's. Starting with the home team, South Melbourne, Candy, Wallhead, Iamano, Taranto, Hronop.
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Hello and welcome to round 24 action of the Senol NPL Victoria Women's, live from Lakeside Stadium. Cool afternoon, around 15 degrees with plenty of cloud cover as the match officials and staff from both teams make their way out of the tunnel onto the substitutes bench. Okay. Hello and welcome to round 24 action of the Senol live from Lakeside Stadium. I'm your commentator, Daniel Christie, bringing you this exciting Saturday afternoon clash between South Melbourne and Keilor Park. The starting lineups for today's game, starting with the home team, South Melbourne. It will be Candy, Warhead, Iamano, Taranto, Chronopoulos, Westland, Pantazopoulos, Schmelzer, Roach, Collier, and Westaway. And for the away team, it will be Leighton, Ingles, Smith, Rabin, Power, Lamont, Byrne, Sarah Mitchell, Holmes, Comidori, and Grace Mitchell. So we can see, starting with the home team there, one out from last week, Alana Byrne, making way for Chronopoulos. So it'll be interesting to see how she comes into the team and lines up, and we'll endeavour to bring you that across the first couple minutes. And for the away team, Georgia Henderson, Caitlin Carriage, and Devon Jackson making way for Abby Holmes, Margot Rabin, and Tamsin Smith. So 3 changes there for the away team for this clash. The match today will be officiated by centre referee Jasmine St. Laurent and assistant referee number 1 Denise Horner, with Giselle Spezza also assistant refereeing today. The weather conditions here, a cool afternoon, around 15 degrees with plenty of cloud cover. A bit of a breeze around, but importantly it's dry and conditions look pretty good for football. The pitch is in good nick here at Lakeside Stadium. As you can see, some patches of sand throughout the centre of the pitch. A little bit dry and firmer, but overall superb conditions here today. South Melbourne, in their all blue, will be kicking from right to left towards the lake. And Keilor Park, in their white with grey shorts, will be kicking from left to right towards the city. If you're not across it, there was a lot of action last night in the NPL Victoria Women's. Most notably for this game, Alamein FC defeated Spring Hills 3-0, which means that any drop points here from South Melbourne today will invite and keep the door open for Alamein, competing for that 6th position to make finals, as we're seconds away from kickoff here. And the game is underway. Clancy Westaway with a good challenge there as South Melbourne come forwards. Renopoulos tries to return it down the line. And it seems to be quite a number of changes here from the South Melbourne lineup. It's Grace Taranto, looks like she's starting in the up front position, with a midfield combination of Westaway and Westland, with Emily Roach just in that number 10 role off Taranto. And then the captain, Iamano, is starting out at left back with Wallhead and Schmelzer in the centre-back positions as Taranto goes toe-to-toe there with a Keilor Park defender, and it goes out for the first corner of today's game. So an interesting lineup, which means Emily Collier is most likely playing out at right back. We'll see how that unfolds. The South Melbourne team certainly showing their versatility in their play, as the ball will come in from the far side there from a corner. It's an out-swinging delivery right on the mixer and just wide. Maggie Byrne did well to be able to tip it away, and it looks like it's gone out for another corner here. Superb delivery from Emily Roach the first time round. Couldn't quite see who got the contact there in the middle, but it just squirmed wide. Keilor Park coming to this game, like I said, in 12th position. But a return of their top striker, Abby Holmes, with 7 goals is certainly a welcome addition back into the team. Roach will have another go here. Ball comes in, again, right into the honey pot, cleared away from the Keilor Park defender. Roach does really well under pressure from Grace Mitchell there. Taranto cuts it back to the top of the box. Commodore attempting with the clearance. Just scrambling away at the moment, the away team so far. Ball comes in from the throw-in. Cleared away again. Westland there, heading it forwards. Sarah Mitchell battling hard, but out comes Iamano with it. And that's going to be cleared by Leighton. So it looks like Grace Mitchell is starting at left back, almost switching with Mia Power, with the usual centre-back combination of Leighton and Ingles. Abby Holmes, as expected, leading the front line. It's actually Ellie Lamont out at right back for the visitors as the ball comes forward. Attempted clearance there. Thundered off the South Melbourne player out for a throw-in. So certainly a bit of a change from last week for the away team in how they've lined up as well. Holmes here. Great tackle in there by Wallhead. Ball comes out to Leighton and it's spread out wide to Lamont, who tries to cut inside Panterzopoulos. Well tackled. Schmelzer intercepts. Iamano will play it back to Candy. South Melbourne trying to find themselves in a passing rhythm. First 5 minutes of the game. As the shape starts to become a little bit more clearer for the away team, Tenzin Smith sitting in that number 6 role, looking to play really head-to-head with Emily Roach, with Margot Rabin and Commodore making up the other midfielders. As the ball squirms out here. Played really quickly forward, looking for Mia Power, but Wallhead comes out with it, plays it out wide to Rodopoulos. Back in to Wallhead, and it will go out for another corner. Last three results for South Melbourne have been disappointing, to say the least. Round 23, a 1-0 loss against Avondale last week. And in round 22 versus Bulleen, it was another close 2-1 loss on that day, followed by a 1-0 draw against their closest rivals for the finals, positioning round 21, Alameen, with a 1-1 draw there. As Roach looks to play this one short, this time to Iamano, gets her head up. Combination of passes between them. Iamano towards the back post with Westland, heads it towards goal. And it's signalled really well there by Denise Horner on the far side for a goal kick. So South Melbourne looking to really mix up their corner routines on that occasion, freeing up Westland towards the back post. Headed down, but defended really well so far by Keilor Park. Who are looking to really line up in that 4-4-2 shape. As Komidori picks up the ball here, 23-year-old Japanese midfielder. Does really well to turn away. Heavily contested there. Roach to Collier, and South Melbourne will settle. Lots of arguments there from the side of the pitch. The ball seemed to look to have gone out of play. As Grace Mitchell will pick up the ball and look to return the play into Komidori to Smith, who tries to squirm it out wide to Lamont, but only finds Pantazopoulos from South Melbourne, who is happy to be able to dribble and run down the line. Really well done there by Lamont, who is tugged there by Pantazopoulos on the arm and is given away a free kick. Good defending there so far. Tamsin Smith will be looking to be able to dictate play and get on the ball and do a lot more of that, but looking to be more effective as the game goes on, spreading the play and really trying to shift South Melbourne from side to side. Holmes attempts a flick on. Schmeltz does well just to be able to deflect, hold her up. And she tries to play it forward, but only finds Iamano. As Komidori chases down, first one to Candy, who can only be able to clear it out for a throw-in on this near side. So you can see Keilor Park will definitely want to be able to get it forward early to the combination of Holmes and Mia Power up top. That's a huge throw from Lamont into the box, but cleared away there from Schmelzer into Westerway. And Keilor Park will look to box in the home team and see if they can get some pressure on goal early in this game. You can see Keilor Park working extremely hard off the ball just to be able to screen and cut off passing lanes. As the ball goes forward into Taranto, who tries to be able to touch it down first time. Long ball there by Leighton over the top. Again, very direct football so far. Iamano plays it back to Candy and might go for an own goal. Out of nothing, a long ball by Kennedy Leighton. Iamano tries to play it back to Gio Candy, and in unremarkable circumstances, the ball crosses the line. Candy scrambling back, and out of nothing, just over 10 minutes gone in this game, the visitors, Keilor Park, have a 1-0 lead. And that's not gone according to script here today at Lakeside Stadium. A complete mix-up there between the left-back And the goalkeeper, Iamano, just putting a little bit too much pepper on that pass back and not as accurate as she would like. And all of a sudden, out of really just a long ball, South Melbourne have got a lot to do. Iamano into Taranto, trying to flick it out to Roach. As Keilor Park will definitely look to settle and use his confidence to be able to build up the pitch. Leighton into Sarah Mitchell. Iamano does really well, just dispossessing her from behind. Good little passing combination there between Pantasopoulos and Roach. But they'll have to do better than that to get the ball into Grace Taranto, who'll be looking to use her experience, her size and prowess up top to be able to bring other players into the game and get her shots off where she can. Pantasopoulos has space to be able to roam into. Got two on her, cuts back in, delivers into the box, but really well cleared there by Emilia Ingles. The 19-year-old performed really well in recent weeks. St. Laurent waves play on. Comes to nothing. Abby Holmes, you can see, just absolute tearing down the ball here, looking to win it back. Schmelzer, composed, calm, plays it out to Iamano. Westaway with a good little turn. And a 1-2 with Iamano. Just past the foot there. Doing really well to be able to advance the ball into this far corner, but the delivery is not as Pantasopoulos would have wanted there. For Keilor Park, again a similar pattern with South Melbourne in the last three games. 2-0 loss to Heidelberg, a 1-0 loss to Preston and a 1-1 draw against Bentley. Certainly wanting to be able to put that right today, and they're on the right path. And they're certainly doing well to adopt to South Melbourne early on. You can see those two banks of four forming as Iamano tries to get a head up and pick something out. Into Taranto's feet there from Wallhead, but she's just struggling to be able to find a target as Keilor Park on the counter here. Holmes trying to find power, but not on that occasion, and there's the blueprint there. Strong tackle there by Sarah Mitchell. Sarah and Grace Mitchell, the two sisters, coming from NCAA Division 1 at Seton Hall, have added a lot to this Keilor Park team as Leighton and Ingles settle and try to invite the pressure from South Melbourne onto them. Pantasopoulos just pulled down there by Lamont, and it's actually not given. Some communication there from St. Laurent. Clearly looks like a tug of the shirt there, and it has been given to South Melbourne. Fierce battle between Ellie Lamont and Pantasopoulos on this near side. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And we can see that this delivery from Emily Roach will be an in-swinging one. Just looking to put it in the 6-yard box. Maggie Byrne has done well to be able to get her palm onto the first couple of set pieces. Ball comes in, headed away from Holmes. into Lamont. Plays down the line, but it will squirm ahead of Rabin. Ball goes out in that far hand side there. South Melbourne not playing as cleanly as they would like to begin this game. We're certainly expecting him to keep the majority of the possession with an average of 53% throughout the season so far compared to the away team at 38%, which really gives you an idea of how these two teams will want to go about their business today. Keilor Park doing a really good job so far of just frustrating South Melbourne and going toe-to-toe as Renopoulos on the far side does really well there, coming in the right midfield position, usually seen in central midfield. And you can just see they're trying to really cover positions as well as they can. Lamont plays right inside, but Roach will be able to intercept and play Westland, who looks to try and play with her right foot, but the standing foot just got in the way. Collier out to Renopoulos, who fires off a shot with her left, and it just bounces towards Byrne, who'll be happy to take her time, instructing her team to shift towards this near side. Pantazopoulos trying to come inside. Sarah Mitchell does really well, plays it back to Lamont. Good win there by Wallhead. Good strong header so far. As Mitchell tries to be able to play it through Pantazopoulos, but it goes out for a throw-in. And so far, South Melbourne are struggling to be able to get their fullbacks in attacking positions. Taranto into Westaway to Roach. Usually we see Grace Taranto operating in that right fullback position with Emily Collier out on the left, marauding up and down those flanks. Iamano usually seen playing in a right midfield or left field position, doing her bit to support the team at left back. Renopoulos did well to be able to win the ball, but tried to be able to play back to Collier, but again, it's just basic skill errors for the home team, letting them down at the moment. Another good win there by Wallhead. Dribbled forwards and a shot at goal. Testing Candy, who parries the ball. No one following it up. A great attempt there from range, just testing Candy, keeping her on her toes. Westaway, a lot of room now to be able to pick a pass, but it's cut off really well by Smith. And Holmes picks it up. Plays forward to Commodore, who's got a lot to do there. Really well done by the South Melbourne player on that occasion. And it's tight to the corner there. Commodore shepherding it from Wallhead. So the home team so far this season, 11 wins, 6 draws and 6 losses, with 43 goals for and 23 against. Sharing around the goals has been the theme this season for the home team, with Iamano and Dalton both with 6 goals each, topping the charts. Taranto really strong in there on Ingles, but Keilor Park will be able to play out. A lot of pressure there, but Ingles does well to be able to try and play it out wide to Grace Mitchell. The away team, 6 wins, 5 draws and 12 losses is their record, with 22 goals for and 40 against. ball comes back into play. Keilor pressured really well by Power. It just gave away a free kick, a tug on the shirt, and pulled up there by St. Laurent. Schmelzer from the dead ball plays it out to Keilor, and this is where South Melbourne are going to be tested throughout the remainder of the game. Can they be able to play through? Really looking for Roach on a lot of occasions. Panterzopoulos making the infield run, not found that time. And the combination of Westaway and Westland through that central midfield, haven't been seeing a lot of ball to be able to progress it into that front line. Mitchell hacked down there from Chronopoulos. But it's not given, and it will be a South Melbourne throw. And it's headed out by Ingles for another corner for South Melbourne. So interesting start forming to this game so far. Keilor Park really look organised when sitting in with their defensive shape. But if South Melbourne can just get those attacking combinations moving quicker, they can certainly be able to break them down, as Roach will fire this one in towards the back post. Panterzopoulos with a left foot volley, saved, and it's just cleared. That back post certainly has a lot of space there. Power pressing Keilor, who toe pokes it out. And Keilor Park have done really well there to defend the corner and be able to push up. Panterzopoulos through on goal. Great save from Maggie Byrne there. A chance for South Melbourne. And it was well smothered there by Maggie Byrne in the end. Iamano wins the header, comes down to Smith. Roach comes forward with it, plays Keilor, 1v1, cutting in on her right. Plays it to the top of the box to Westaway, squared to Westland. South Melbourne will go from coast to coast. Chronopoulos plays it back to Westland. And Keilor Park really sitting in here. Keilor looking for options, but just can't find anything that she likes going forward. Schmelzer plays it down the line. Iamano with the cross with her left foot. Half cleared, but cleared fully there by Commodore. And South Melbourne applying more pressure, shifting the ball quicker from side to side. And just looking for those vertical gaps. But so far, Keilor Park doing a really good job. Roach on Mitchell does well to be able to move away from it. Again, she's always got someone behind her. There's Emily Roach. Tamsin Smith keeping her close for company. Renopoulos going all the way to the byline, but cut off really well by Grace Mitchell there on the far side. So just a correction there for the visiting away team. The front two is Abby Holmes and Ellie Lamont, with Mia Power playing out at right fullback. Another South Melbourne corner, and they've, on this occasion, it's just been put onto the top of the net, and Keilor Park survive another scare. Holmes now going toe-to-toe with Collier, who's come out into this left-hand side with Renopoulos moving into a right fullback position. Emily Collier trying to stop Mia Power from throwing it in and gets herself a yellow card for her troubles. The University of Portland graduate. Power with the long throw. Headed away by Schmelzer down the line. Power really physical. Taranto coming out to this left-hand side. Will play down the line to Collier, who cuts back onto her right foot. Taranto trying to find anywhere she can to be able to pick up the ball. Iamano to deliver from a deep area. Cleared by Ingles. Only as far as Taranto at the top of the box, but a combination of Rabin and Smith, who goes down in front of her, waved play on, and it's a melee just in the box at the moment. It looks like it could have been a free kick. Almost everyone had stopped. Power down the line. As Candy will send that one up the field. Sarah Mitchell with the header. Clancy Westaway with time to operate in. She shifts and shimmies, plays it to Westland. Again, another good tackle there by Mia Power. Renopoulos, first time to Pantazopoulos on that right-hand side. Shapes to cross it, but Grace Mitchell does really well. Not getting a lot of joy so far in this game is Alexis Pantazopoulos. Schmelzer coming forwards with it, playing straight into Westaway. Renopoulos chipping the ball down the line. Inglis just meets it with the face. Plays it into Smith, and Rabin gives it away sloppily. Smith with a really good tackle coming across. And Taranto just over the bar as the ball spilled out to her. South Melbourne getting closer. And it was fortuitous how it fell to Taranto, but she wasn't afraid to be able to pull the trigger like I mentioned before, wanting to get her shots off at any chance that she can, and really just playing a one-touch layoff game so far up top. Trying to combine with Emily Roach and the wingers where she can. Keilor Park so far sticking fairly true to their 4-4-2 shape. They would want to be able to see more of Komidori on the ball as she just cops it to the head there. Westaway with the square pass, nearly cut off there by Sarah Mitchell. Well navigated there by Westland. Iamano into the feet of Taranto. Kept really tight for company by Kennedy Leighton. As they shift it side to side, can they be able to get Westaway and Westland more on the ball as they move through midfield? Renopoulos tries to play Westaway, but it's cut off. Inglis doing really well, just covering those spaces to the left of her and behind her, and really making sure that nothing goes beyond her. As Pantazopoulos tries to reverse step over, Grace Mitchell does really well to get a toe in. Pantazopoulos now on that far-hand side, cutting back. Keeping the ball close to her feet. But Keilor Park doing really well just to be able to defend, and Holmes comes away with it. And it's a clear tug of the shirt by Westaway. She should be cautioned for that. Gets away with it on that occasion. Survives the talking to from centre F. Just over 31 minutes gone in this game here at Lakeside Stadium, around 24 action. If you're just joining us of the Senol NPL Women's Victoria, the only game on today in the league. A lot of action last night, as I mentioned pre-game. If you weren't across it, Box Hill drew 1-1 with Avondale, and Essendon Royals beat Preston Lions 5-1, which means that Essendon Royals move within a point of Box Hill at the top of the table. So tightly contested is this season. Heidelberg United beat Melbourne City 2-1, and Bentley Greens with a good victory over Melbourne Victory 3-1. And as I said, Alamein beating Spring Hills 3-0. Moving themselves level on points with South Melbourne in 7th, just outside the top 6, but it's the goal difference of plus 13 in South Melbourne's favour, which keeps them in that finals contention. So Alamein really needing to get some kind of points over the next few games as Wallhead clears uncontested. Renopolis, again with the header, comes out to Abby Holmes, who tries to turn Schmelzer, shields it, plays a really clever pass out of trouble, and Westaway comes away with it. But just wastes the pass on that occasion as it goes straight to Mia Power. And Burn will clear. Pantazopoulos, 1v1 with Mitchell, crossing it in, but Leighton tries to head it away, and Pantazopoulos from a tight angle, it was Taranto from a tight angle, half volleying it just over the crossbar. Wasn't the best cleared by Kennedy Leighton. It was an awkward ball to kind of judge. And it looks like Leighton's having words here with the referee over something. Maybe copped a knock on her face. I think it could potentially be a blood nose from that actual cross that came in, and that clearance that didn't go as far as she would have liked. It certainly makes sense if it came off that region of her face as she seeks some medical support on the sideline. And the visitors will be extremely happy with the lead so far. Incredible own goal coming on the 10th minute from Iamano from South Melbourne. A pass back towards the goalkeeper, misjudged, as Pantazopoulos now going down the right-hand side, cuts it across, but really well cleared from Holmes, who's taking up a centre-back position while Leighton is off, as she has it here. Almost unexpectedly, dribbles her way out of trouble with Collier keeping her tight for company. Finds eventually the touchline with a left-footed clearance. South Melbourne's best chance of the game falling to Pantazopoulos, who was one-on-one before Maggie Byrne pulled out a fantastic stop from close range. And Taranto with that half volley just minutes earlier. Renopolis into the feet of Taranto, who tries to spin, tackled really well. Lamont tries to be able to play it forward, just cops a knock there as the ball comes out to Iamano. Plays it to Collier. Swift turn, but defended really well by Mia Power again. Rabin to Smith. Back to Rabin. Good 1-2, and they've played their way out. But unfortunately, with a player less, just didn't have the attacking support that she wanted to be able to pick out. And South Melbourne are starting to settle into their groove. Not on the same wavelength with Taranto there. Schmelzer takes the throw into Collier, who tries to flick it on. Leighton, who's returned back onto the pitch, clears it forward, and it's a bit of head tennis there. Last time these two met, it actually finished in a 0-0 draw in round 11. And both teams, as I said, with the performances they've had in the last few weeks, are desperate to be able to change their fortunes. Schmelzer does well to be able to switch the ball out to Renopoulos. Good touch and passing to Pantazopoulos. They'll earn a throw-in out of it. And Keilor Park so far doing really well. Combination of Grace Mitchell and Ingles on that far hand side, just doing anything they can to be able to get a foot to the ball and clear. Great turn there by Renopoulos. Tries to play it inside. Commodore clears into Lamont, who plays it on first time. But the speed that's shown there by Wallhead does well to be able to get across Holmes, who has struggled to be able to get close to goal as she would like to be able to fire off her shots. Schmelzer driving forwards, playing it out to Iamano, 1v1 with power, to Taranto, trying to link up and combine, but it's just not coming off so far for the home team. Playing into the hands of Keilor Park. They're defending really well in that 4-4-2 shape and just squeezing the middle of the pitch, making it difficult for the likes of Roach to be able to get on to the ball, onto those half spaces and combine and be able to get her shots off. Byrne gets distance on the goal kick, only as far as Roach, who plays Taranto. First time out to Pantazopoulos, and we've seen that combination quite a bit so far in this game as Roach gets her heads up, crosses it into the box, and Byrne does really well just to be able to claim, coordinating there with Leighton, the 24-year-old from Colorado State, anchoring the defensive line for the visitors. Holmes back to goal there with Wallhead doing really well to be able to get the ball under a spell, as Lamont now has an opportunity 1v1 with Chronopoulos on that far side, who wins the throw-in and does really well since coming into that right back position in the last 15 or so minutes. Keilor Park certainly not interested in having to press too far up the pitch so far in this game. Schmelzer, so much time and space to be able to drive into and pick a pass. Power going head-to-head with Collier, and Commodore coming across really well and clearing it. And that's what they're happy to do time and time again. Certainly, if in doubt, kick it out stuff here from the visitors. Really basics. Iamano looking for Taranto, who gets a toe on it. Roach does really well using her body. Shot with the right foot, just wide of that far post. You could see the idea, trying to really curl it in to that side netting once the space opened up. Bodying the South Melbourne defender there on that occasion. Just being able to create a yard for herself. Schmelzer does really well reading that one. Heads it down to Roach, who tries to be able to flick it off over Tamsin Smith. Gets away with it on that occasion. Collier out to Iamano. Right-footed, cutting in. And it's a long shot from range from Roach, who tries to test it out, and it just looks like a player has gone to ground here when Iamana was cutting inside, just off the ball. As the referee is signalling for a halt. Might be something to do with Tamsin Smith's hand there as she went down. Commodore receiving some instructions from the coaches on the sideline. Holmes does well to try and flick it on. Commodore stealing it from the feet of Pantazopoulos, who just gives her an unnecessary shove. Nowhere near the ball there, and it's certain foul picked up. Some frustration there leaking from the home team. Commodore just met the ground quite heavily on that occasion, just taking the wind out of her. A round of applause there from the Keilor team, supporting good sportsmanship here. But South Melbourne have got to do far better when they go forwards, just to be able to get away back into this game. Leighton hoists it into the box. Cleared by Warhead, volleyed by Lamont, and a great save from Gio Candy at her near post. Headed away, fell perfectly to Ellie Lamont, about 12 yards from goal. Struck it really sweetly with the laces of her right boot. And Candy did really well just to be able to palm it away for a corner. And Keilor Park have some pressure here, looking to convert and make it 2-0. Commodore with the in-swinging delivery. Oh, it met the head of Holmes. And she felt like she could have done better. Slapping her head in the process, heading it over. South Melbourne get away with that one. Westland receives, turns. Can't find an option forward, so goes back to Wallhead. Phronopoulos on that right fullback position. Into the feet of Pantazopoulos. Grace Mitchell doing really well, just nipping at her toes anytime an opportunity presents itself. You can see the combination between Ellie Lamont and Abby Holmes, how it's worked so far. Holmes being able to drift in and work deeper if she needs to be able to get on the ball, with Lamont really providing that pace up top as a foul is given by assistant referee Horner on the far side. It was Pantazopoulos who was tripped by Ingles. And they're treating this similar to a corner situation, as the fourth official signals for 1 additional minute of stoppage time so far in this first half. Pantazopoulos chips it in towards the penalty spot, just beyond where the majority of the traffic was heading. Roach trying to twist and turn, playing it to Wallhead, who crosses it back in. Dealt with well by Byrne, who clutches the ball to her chest and takes some time off the clock, looking to preserve their 1-0 lead as they go into half-time. Smith does well just to be able to slow the tempo down and play Ingles. And Keilor Park have a chance to finish off the half strong. As Jasmine St. Laurent signals for a whistle at half-time here at Lakeside Stadium of round 24 action of the Senol NPL Victoria Women's. At half-time, it's 1-0 to Keilor Park. Coming in a bizarre fashion with Iamano, the unfortunate recipient of the own goal tag here. But the visitors will be extremely happy with how they've defended and gone about it so far. Plenty of action coming up in the second half. Stay with us. We'll be back soon. Thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday afternoon, wherever you're tuning in from on our YouTube live stream. It's currently 1-0 to Keilor Park via an own goal coming by Iamano in the first half on the 11th minute mark. It'll be very interesting to see how this second half plays out, as South Melbourne will be eager to get back and try and get on the score sheet. The recipe is simple. Get the ball out wide and get the ball into the box with more attacking thrust. And Keilor Park, to their credit, have done really well just to be able to defend and push South Melbourne out to those wide areas. No changes to report so far. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out across the second half, with plenty of players on the bench that can come on and be able to make an impact. But for any Alamein United supporters and players watching, it's certainly the scoreline that they would have wanted. They currently go level on points with South Melbourne if the score remains as it is at the moment, pushing for that top 6 spot, as Iamano comes forward and plays Collier, cuts it back, in South Melbourne showing straight away what they're about in their second half. Mia Powell doing really well just to be able to block that cutback. But as I was saying, it's really up to South Melbourne to continue pushing down the wings, as they do really well, combining with the fullbacks and the wingers, supplying opportunities to their forward line, which today has been a surprise, with Grace Taranto lining up top and Emily Roach plying her trade in that shadow striking role, as she's the one responsible for the set pieces today. Whipping in this corner, right into the middle again, flicked away by Ingles and cleared by Commodore, which has been a familiar pattern in the first half. Any chance they have to clear danger, they will. Not looking to be able to muck around with it. Chronopoulos playing it into Westland. You just feel that Keilor Park will have to add to their lead if they want to walk away from this game with 3 points. There's only so much defending any team can do. Chronopoulos tries to play it into the middle of the box, finding the run of Taranto, cut off by Maggie Byrne in goals, who's done really well so far, keeping a clean sheet. Only 3 clean sheets for the away team this season, compared to the home team, who have 6. And if the result remains the same as it is at the moment, Keilor Park will go level on points with Preston and Spring Hills, but remaining 12th, as Pantazopoulos is played through and tackled really well there. Coming across is Leighton, just to really be able to smother it. Any opportunity for that ball to come into the area. So South Melbourne, as expected with the early pressure, trying to first get an equaliser before they set their sights on 3 points that they absolutely must need. Roach into the box. Byrne collects just over the head, but he's fouled as she goes to ground and whistled by the referee for a free kick for Keilor Park in their white and grey, kicking towards the lakeside. As South Melbourne kicking towards the city in the second half. Will look to try and turn the fortunes in their way. Byrne did really well on that occasion, just to be able to claim that corner. A lot of bodies in that area every time they have a set piece opportunity. Westaway with the touch into her path. Plays Taranto, comes off her heels. Tackled really well by Ingles. Mitchell tries to play it forward, cut off by Westland. South Melbourne will have another go, but the ball will squirm right into the grateful feet of Maggie Byrne, who will take her time, and you expect any stoppages or when the ball does go out of play, Keilor Park will certainly be looking to slow the game down at any opportunity they have. Commodore trying to flick it forwards. Grace Mitchell with Pentazopoulos on her back. Pentazopoulos goes through Inglis, tries to go forward, and it's deemed a free kick in South Melbourne's favour. A strong 50-50 challenge. Penalised there. Didn't really look like, at first glance, that Inglis did much wrong. And South Melbourne will have another set-piece opportunity. There's going to be a lot more of those coming in this second half. And as you can see there, the crowd forming towards the top of the 18-yard box. As Roach looks up, crosses the ball in. Again, another beauty, but cleared really well by Holmes into the path of Lamont, who forces it into the direction of Sarah Mitchell, who's going head-to-head there with Wallhead. Iamano gets the ball down to ground and plays it wide into Westland. Collier with a neat turn. Mia Power with a strong tackle there out into touch. And so far in this game, not much has actually gotten past Mia Power. Schmelzer plays it to Collier, who drives towards the byline. Again, Power coming across, giving her a shoulder charge out of play, and the ball will just land again to Byrne. It's now up to the visitors to see if they can be able to maintain some possession of the ball and get some territory further up the pitch, but South Melbourne will just keep coming. Roach getting more involved into the game now, playing a 1-2 with Collier. Roach with the delivery into the box, and again not finding a target. And you could probably accuse them for not having enough numbers to be able to attack these crosses into the box. Really, the only target is Taranto and Pentazopoulos on most occasions. Iamano not finding a target, and Leighton's happy to clear, giving a small window of respite for the visitors. Looking to go coast to coast now. Rodopoulos just lets it squirm away from her after taking the touch. Certainly missing the influence of Alana Byrne. Are the home team so far in this contest. And Keilor Park have done really well with some big outs. Georgia Henderson out of the team. Caitlin Carrick out with injury. And Devon Jackson not involved. So despite these changes, they've done really well to be able to come to Lakeside and put together an exciting contest as Lamont chases this one down, tries to return it back to Holmes. And this is where Keilor Park can really be able to muster an opportunity. Rabin back to goal. Grace Mitchell with the cross. Mitchell again doing really well. Just to be able to track back into her position, cut off the pass. Looks for the feet of Lamont. Plays a really good first time pass to Rabin. Has a shot with her left foot, tries to catch Candy out, but it's going to have to be a lot better effort than that. Taranto just trying to flick it on first time. Inglis looks to have smothered it with the arm. Wave play on, nothing given. And Inglis now out of position. Pantzopoulos will drive down the right. 1v1 with Grace Mitchell. Skips past her, gets her head up. Numbers to pick out into the box, but only picks out Leighton, who clears. Taranopoulos tries a long-range effort, audacious to say the least. A half volley on her left foot. And there's certainly a lot of responsibility on Pantzopoulos and Chronopoulos on this right-hand side to be able to create and break down this Keilor Park defence. St. Laurent not necessarily happy where Iamano was originally going to take that throw in. Schmelzer with plenty of time to be able to try and advance the ball into this midfield third. Commodore doing really well there on Westerway just to apply pressure. And Clancy Westerway, smooth operator, picks up the ball, trying to dictate the tempo as a square pass from Chronopoulos meets a huge 50-50. Holmes comes away with it now, cuts inside. 1v1 with Westland, has a shot from range again. Candy eats that with ease and rolls it out to Schmelzer. Iamano does really well on the far hand side just to beat Mitchell. And signalled for a free kick originally in the wrong direction. Just some confusion, and St. Laurent really just trying to get a hold of this game. Strong appeals from the South Melbourne team to claim the free kick that they felt they rightfully were owed. Westerway on the turn, receives it on the back foot, does really well to be able to play Taranto, who just goes through the back of Commodore trying to strike it. Really good defensive effort there to get behind the ball and get something on it. The urgency from South Melbourne is obvious. Chronopoulos looking for options. Goes back to Wallhead. Shapes to deliver in the box, but they'll be patient and try and work an opportunity. Keilor Park just sitting deeper and deeper. Roach gets her head up. Plays Iamano, cutting inside off that left full back position. Collier, 1v1 with power. Won't go to the byline this time. Goes back. Roach trying to find that clever pass. Westerway with a fantastic turn in the box and a shot. A tug of the arm from Leighton. And she looks at the ref in confusion. Wanted a penalty, but the advantage was played, and she did eventually get a shot off, but didn't test burn. Schmelzer wins the header into the middle of the park. Commodore plays it backwards. Inglis, as possession changes hands multiple times there. Commodore with an attempted half volley pass which goes out, and it's a substitution here. Taranto and Chronopoulos looking to make way. Or Grace Taranto was running over to the sideline. Thought that she was being called. It'll be Heidi Dalton coming into the fray here as Emilia Collier shifts out to right back to replace the offcoming Chronopoulos. Westerway trying to peel off into that half-back position, but the pass from Wallhead just goes astray. So Heidi Dalton looks like she's coming on to the left midfield position. trying to go head-to-head with Mia Power. And that'll be interesting to see how that plays out for the remainder of the game. If you're just joining us here at Lakeside Stadium, it is just over 59 minutes and change gone in this contest. Keilor Park still 1-0 up and a holding firm, having the odd long shot at goal as South Melbourne struggled to be able to break him down out wide and deliver accurate crosses into the box. You only feel at some stage, if they do get that combination and unlock it well, that there will be a clear opportunity to score. What Keilor Park have done really well is through the four of Mitchell, Commodore, Smith and Robin, really just lock up the middle of that park and prevent South Melbourne from being able to play through. As Collier takes a wayward touch, Commodore picks it off, plays Holmes, who looks for Lamont in behind, gets a shot off at goals at the near post. Candy does well to be able to tip it over, and that's their first shot on target from inside the box in this second half. Good interlinking play there between Abby Holmes and Ellie Lamont. Just keeping South Melbourne on their toes and wary. It'll be Commodore from the far side. It'll be an out-swinging delivery. Right into the middle of the box, though. Met really well by equally the head of Ingles and the hands of Candy, who's actually awarded a free kick on this occasion. Keeping a side in it so far is Gio Candy, as Iamano advances down that left-hand side. Tackled really well Leighton there on Taranto, who with a bit of push and shove with Commodore ends up conceding a free kick. Leighton with a long ball straight down the middle, met easily by Schmelzer. Rabin does really well to be able to flick it over, still has possession of the ball with a few around her and earns a free kick. Looks to try and play it quickly, but this is an opportunity for Keilor Park to get numbers in the box and again try and test out Candy in goals. It's a tough angle. Just over 40 yards from goal. You would expect this delivery to be chipped in to the 18-yard box, looking for an on-running attacker. The head of Ingles and Leighton have been key targets so far. Commodore does exactly that, but headed away from Schmelzer, just getting in front of Holmes, who was looking to be able to flick that one towards goal. Commodore will have another chance to deliver. You can see 4 South Melbourne players just lining up on the 6-yard box, opting for a zonal approach. Commodore lofts it in, cleared by Westland. Back into the box. Inglis trying to head it towards goals. Lamont with the effort, and it's waved by the assistant referee for a foul. Ignored by the centre ref. Lamont had a effort there, smothered, and felt that she got collected. You could hear the clanging of the boots as Westerway has plenty of room to be able to run into. Playing Pantazopoulos, South Melbourne on the counter, but it's a great tackle coming across there from Amelia Ingles. And Mitchell plays it into Holmes. Keilor Park with a chance to go forwards. Rabin slows it down. Sarah Mitchell with a heavy touch in front of her, but gets there, and it's waves play on again. And the bench from Keilor Park are not happy with that one. It's end-to-end stuff here at the moment. Pantazopoulos driving into the box. And a great tackle again from Amelia Inglis. Inspired defending. And for a couple minutes there, it was just non-stop action as two players lying down. Sarah Mitchell was unhappy or unlucky in that circumstance not to get a foul from Westland coming across and going shoulder to shoulder with her as she managed to get her pass off. And it's also Margot Rabin who is taking a break on the ground there as well, as she gingerly makes her way up to her feet. And it's her, Margot Rabin, making way with Jessica Sheehan now coming into the fold for Keilor Park. Rabin with quite a solid effort in the midfield today, doing a lot of hard work. Didn't have a lot of opportunity to create and get as many shots off as she would have liked. And it's a corner for South Melbourne. What can they muster? Roach into the box. Met by the head of Wallhead. Saved by Byrne. Inches away from the line. Doing a fantastic job to be able to get down low and get two hands on it. And not let the ball be able to squirm away from her grasp. Great handling there from Byrne. So Jess Sheehan coming right into the middle of the park. Dalton getting her first touches on the ball, playing it into Roach. Taranto turns, tries to fire off a shot. Pantazopoulos will lay it back to Collier. And she gets it back, but again, her delivery on that occasion just goes a begging, and it will go out for a goal kick. Exactly what Keilor Park were looking for from that situation. So with some new energy in the midfield being introduced, Keilor will look to try and continue their momentum that they've built so far in this second half, doing really well to not only defend and continue to force South Melbourne out wide, but actually cause a little bit of hassle themselves as Sheehan heads it into the path of Holmes, who tries to pass the baton, looping it over the top. Wallhead will come across. Lamont felt that she was shepherded there as Wallhead plays it into Westland, out to Dalton, who tries to flick it into her path with her heel. But it just goes behind her. The combination of Kennedy Leighton and Amelia Inglis so far doing really well to avoid balls going in behind. Mia Power and Grace Mitchell themselves doing a fantastic job 1v1 with the South Melbourne attackers. Collier now at right back, really showing her versatility. Playing it into Pantazopoulos, fires off a shot, headed away. Schmelzer with her left foot, playing it to Iamano, who cuts inside to Roach at the top of the box, spins, shoots, and it's a save from Byrne. I thought it was a save. It's gone wide of the post, just wide without a touch, and it will be a goal kick. Emily Roach doing really well to be able to buy herself a few yards there and firing off an effort. The referee waving on medical attention here for the visitors. Abby Holmes stretching out her left leg there, just copped a knock. Has put in an absolute mountain of work, has Abby Holmes today, doing what she can to be able to supply the attacking threat as well as chip in defensively, especially from set pieces, heading plenty away. Just the volume of work from the visitors to be able to keep South Melbourne at bay has been really positive. But for the most part, South Melbourne have defended quite well and have limited Keilor Park to only a few opportunities. Lamont with the best to note, as she picks it up here just ahead of Iamano. Tries to get her head up, but Westland does really well to be able to come across. Getting more and more involved in this game is Misha Westland in the midfield. Wallhead out to Collier, who does really well with her left foot, cutting inside Commodore and playing it out to Dalton, who's drifted onto this right-hand side, 1v1 with Grace Mitchell, who does really well to stick a toe in there and poke it out for a corner. Just as the cross was coming in, as South Melbourne were flooding the box with more and more numbers. The pressure will continue. Can Keilor Park force them out of the box and away? Emily Roach with another corner, racking up the numbers here. Byrne palms away. Sheehan with the clearance. West away from outside the box. We've seen that only a couple of weeks ago against Bulleen Lions. Not on this occasion. Some vocal calls there from the Keilor Park bench, just shifting and changing shape a little bit to try and accommodate this bombardment of attacking pressure from South Melbourne. It's not for a lack of creativity or thought. It's just the execution that has let down the home team so far. Really clear instructions there from the sideline as Iamano comes inside. Fires off a shot herself. Iamano saved onto the crossbar from Maggie Byrne. A really good effort there from both players. Iamano doing well to get on her right foot and dribble across the 18-yard box. And Maggie Byrne, it looked like the ball was going to just dip over the top of her head, but she did fantastically well to get her right palm to it and just flick it onto the crossbar. South Melbourne knocking. Roach with the cross in. Cleared by Inglis again. Pantasopoulos can't get it under her spell. Cleared by Lamont. Power on the ball now. Anywhere will do. Right into the back of Pantasopoulos. That one hurt. You could hear it. A loud thud echoing across Lakeside Stadium as Commodore will shepherd the ball away from Westaway just to get some advantage and wins a throw-in. Clever play there from Maruna Commodore. And whatever South Melbourne throw at this stubborn Keilor Park defensive and resilient unit, they won't give in, they won't budge. Power with a long throw into the box to no one in particular. Schmelzer there to be able to just clear it. Same with Westland. Just over 74 minutes gone in this game. You would expect more movement from the bench coming in the next few minutes. Dalton checks back and he's fouled there from Commodore, who offers her apologies. It'll again be the right foot of Roach coming across to deliver this one in. And they've all been on the money. But it'll be Misha Westland instead, who will set her sights on curling this ball into the box. Westland. Again met by the head of Ingles. And again, twice in a row. Formidable so far. And it's scrappy, the ball bouncing everywhere. Collier with the head. Continues to stay in the air. Pantasopoulos lashes at it. It'll fall to Dalton just beyond her. That shot from Pantasopoulos could have gone into a path. It comes out to this near-hand side. Iamano tries to be able to buy some space and tackled really well again by Grace Mitchell. Collier, really good throw to Westland, to Iamano just beyond her left foot. Just caught Keilor napping there for a second. Westaway, another good turn, back onto her right foot to Pantasopoulos. Kennedy Leighton meets it, does well for the ball not to hit her arm and clear. And seems like Abby Holmes has temporarily gone into defense as Iamano picks it up, looks to be fouled by Leighton. All ball, says the ref. Sheehan just tries to get it forward to Lamont. Abby Holmes is coming back into defence. They've gone to a 5 at the back now, Keilor Park. A 5-4-1, implementing the changes made a few minutes ago. Good feet there by Dalton. Collier with the cross towards Taranto. Bounces over the top of her head. She'll run onto it. Byrne does really well to come across and claim. Sarah Mitchell doing well to be able to keep that one in play. Ellie Lamont with the chest control. Doing well to earn herself a throw in. Power in no rush on that far hand side. Just taking a couple of notes from the coaching staff. Roach under a lot of pressure there. Earns herself a free kick. A long, long way away from goals there is Roach trying to pick up the ball and make things happen. Collier tries to play inside. Westaway slips. But South Melbourne still have it. Schmelzer advancing from the centre-back position. Playing back to Westland. A lot of space in front of her. Couldn't resist a shot from range, but blocked really well. Wallhead into the back, but it's not called there as the game continues. South Melbourne just trying to throw as many players as they can forwards at this stage. Noticing that a change of shape from Keilor Park to that 5-4-1 means that they can have more runners in behind and really go toe-to-toe. Holmes really strong into the back there. Giving away a free kick on that occasion, about 35 yards from goal. Westland with the delivery. Straight into Byrne, who's happy to be able to grab the ball and go to ground. An exceptional performance so far from Maggie Byrne. Roach over the top into Westerway, who does well to keep possession and find Wallhead. Dalton, first time into Taranto, players losing their footing at this stage. As the floodlights turn on here at Lakeside Stadium. South Melbourne moving the ball better now. Westaway into Westland. 1-2 with Iamano. Schmelzer making the run down the left-hand flank. Playing it into Pantazopoulos. Abby Holmes right behind her. Pantazopoulos does well to be able to try and play it back to Schmelzer, but it's just squeezed out of play on that occasion. Power, distance on that throw, but it will come back. Holmes again coming across, desperate defending at this stage. Dalton moved inside the pitch, gets a shot off at goals, but it won't test out Byrne. And it will be a change here for South Melbourne. Iamano coming off and making way. And it looks like it's Daniela Squatrito coming onto the field. And South Melbourne really, at this point, seeming like they've gone to a three at the back with Schmelzer, Wallhead and Collier holding down the fort. Strong appeals there from the South Melbourne bench. Not given. And there will be a talking to here from the centre ref, giving a yellow card there to the coach there of South Melbourne, Justin Mikulev, earning some cheese for his protest as Lamont goes head-to-head with Schmelzer. Keilor Park earned the throw-in. And so far, what a shock result this is at Lakeside Stadium. Given the lead in the 11th minute with an own goal by Francesco Iamano, they've held on to it and have defended really stoically. Schmelzer coming forwards, finding Roach, who's had so many touches of the ball today. Schmelzer again goes down after the slide tackle. Pantazopoulos whips it in towards the back post, cleared again. The back four, or the back five, I should say, from Keilor Park have done excellent today. Winning everything aerially and just getting bodies in the way just like that. Commodore won't even play forwards to Lamont, who seemed to be an easier pass forwards. Struggling a little bit, hobbling on that left leg of hers as she just clears the ball out of touch. Sheehan now. Again, happy to clear. An instruction there from the coaching staff of Keilor Park. At no stages take any risks. Roach, who's picked it up really in every position that you could imagine today, now in centre back. Lots of runs ahead of her, but she plays Collier. Emily Collier Fires off a shot on her right, cleared by Ingles. Wallhead with the touchdown, settles, crosses it into the box towards Taranto. And cleared again. "85 minutes gone in this contest. Collier delivers on her left. Pantazopoulos! Just past the near post. She picked up the second effort after a lofted ball in from Emily Collier. But it just didn't trouble burning goals. What can South Melbourne do differently? What else can they throw at this Keilor Park defence to try and get an equaliser? Power into the back of Pantazopoulos. That will be pulled up on that occasion. She's had a fantastic game though, Mia Power at right fullback. Holmes with the header. Sheehan coming across. Schmelzer wins it, heads it forwards and cleared by Leighton. And that trio in the back there of Holmes, Leighton and Inglis will certainly have a lot more clearing and defending to do in these last few minutes. You just feel something's coming. Taranto on the head. Doesn't get it on target. They've had their chances, but just haven't been able to take them. Collier above Sheehan wins the header. Roach picks up the loose ball. Westaway does really well just to poke it. And cleared by Leighton. A chance for Keilor Park to get up the pitch. 1v1, Wallhead and Lamont. Wallhead does extremely well. Back to goals. Forces it forwards. Didn't know much about it. Lamont chasing down anything. Right into the corner. Really composed, playing it back to Candy, recycling possession, and South Melbourne will go again. A lot of runners in behind, not much defeat. Westland picking it up, playing it across to Pantazopoulos, a little bit short, but she does well to make something of it. No foul. Ball goes into the box, cleared by Leighton. And Power does well. Just to be able to steer it forwards down the line. Dalton wanting it at the back post. She doesn't get it. She does now though. Again. Defended, stopped and cleared. Taranto into the box, headed, not towards the direction of the goal, just away from it. Kept in somehow. Roach still has it, playing it to the top of the box. Collier with her left foot. And it's out for a goal kick. Another chance, another opportunity goes begging. Commodore, who's put in an absolute mountain of work now, going down with cramps. Assisted in the traditional stretch there by Grace Mitchell. Schmelzer heads it down to Roach. Loud cries for handball. Ignored. And Holmes puts it into touch again. It's just a throw, despite the appeals of a corner. Schmelzer into Squatrito, who lays it back. Sarah Mitchell does well to be able to come across. Squatrito with the touch. Into the path, keeps it in. And no, she doesn't on this occasion. Inventive stuff to be able to get the ball under a spell as a... Looks like there's a sub coming on here for Keilor Park, number 17. Ellie Lamont coming off for number 25, Georgia Thackeray. Gets a warm round of applause from the visiting faithful who have come down to Lakeside today. 4 minutes of additional stoppage time to be added on in this contest. A fascinating tug of war here at Lakeside Stadium. Emily Collier throwing it forward. Commodore again goes to ground, really struggling. Urged to be able to push on. Squatrito nearly goes down, gets a shot off, goes out for a corner. It looked like for half a second there she was fouled, kept her feet. And it's the combination of Leighton and Holmes on the ground at the moment. As again, medical assistance is waved on to be able to treat the Keilor Park defenders at this stage. I believe it's Kennedy Leighton who's just rolled off the pitch. And Inglis also copped a knock there as they quickly reorganise themselves. South Melbourne have been dangerous from corners, and a good delivery from Roach could add to it. Byrne claims, but the ball was knocked out of her hands. Really good goalkeeping again there from Maggie Byrne, who has been my player of the match for today's game. Only 3 clean sheets this season, but they're certainly doing well to be able to deserve and earn their 4th. Seems like it come off Collier's hand there, bouncing up. She didn't have too much to know about it, but was pulled up nonetheless. And Keilor Park happy to just take their time. Westland, you can see the urgency just to put the ball down on the spot for them. Holmes over the head of Collier to Commodore, who surely doesn't have much left in the tank. I'm surprised she's still going at this stage. Shoved over by Collier, but it's not going to be given. South Melbourne will have a chance to reset. The ball goes forward, headed away by Holmes. Pantzopoulos into Squatrito. Tackled again as they inch their way down the pitch, looking for that last shot, that last opportunity. Some space in the box, a mistake maybe. Again, another South Melbourne throw-in on the far-hand side. They'll be facing Melbourne City away from home next week, as Keilor Park will be playing Box Hill at home. Tough match for them, so 3 points here is even more important. Oh! Pantzopoulos drove the ball in, and he was flicked on by Schmelzer. just past the far post. Still, it looks like Kennedy Leighton is down on the ground receiving treatment. As Byrne delivers it forward. And that's it. That's full time here at Lakeside Stadium. Keilor Park have defeated South Melbourne 1-0 in round 24 action. And you can see the South Melbourne players are in disbelief. Hands on their heads. They don't know how they haven't been able to score a goal, get an equaliser back in this game, and put pressure on the teams below them for that top 6 position. But it was a fantastic defensive display from Keilor Park, who hung on in there, even having 10 players on the pitch at certain times, defending so well, and they've earned that 4th clean sheet of the season. The goal coming in circumstances which I haven't seen in a long time, a miscommunication between Iamano playing it back to Gio Candy under no pressure, but the pass went astray and crawled over the line despite Candy's best efforts to retrieve it. And that slice of luck is all that Keilor Park needed to be able to win this game. They stay in 12th position, but are equal on points with Preston Lions and Spring Hills, as Alamein United are really the biggest victors of today's result, albeit 13 goals behind South Melbourne. They're equal on points and will continue to put pressure on them in the top 6 as this NPL Victoria Women's League shapes up. I've been your commentator, Daniel Christie. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, wherever you've been tuning in on our YouTube live stream. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again next week.